Hey, so I'm Raul. I'm in downtown LA. This is Pershing Square. Take a look around. A really historic part of Los Angeles, one of the older parts of Los Angeles. And today, it's going to host the climate march, right? So this is going to be where it's supposed to be like a youth, like student run. So a lot of kids perhaps might be coming out of school to come and protest that they lack future, right? Because chances are, if we keep on going the way we are, the climate would be inhospitable for human life within a few decades. So there should be a lot of youth here. Should be just a lot of people just in general. I'm here really early, so I'll just try to get some footage and just let you look around and see some stuff.
Town Hall, next Tuesday in Echo Park at 6:30. This is the time to act. Why this is fascism and why we need to be in the streets demanding that the Trump-Pence regime must go now. 2020 is too late. Are we going to tell the children in these concentration camps, I'm good, I'll wait till 2020? Are we going to let more environmental protections be reversed? How many have there been already? I saw in the New York Times about 80, and they're growing reversals on climate protections, on environmental protections. How many more? This regime is the number one threat to the environment, and it needs to be driven out. And we are serious about that. We need to follow what Hong Kong is doing and stand in the streets, stand in the streets and stay in the streets.
Okay, wow, that is really cool.
Pues la época de seguir extrayendo, explotando a la gente, a los ecosistemas ya se ha acabado porque nos estamos levantando, estamos centralizando los derechos indígenas y pues los centros de detención y la militarización de la frontera no es una buena respuesta a la inseguridad humana mundial por el cambio climático. No vamos a militarizar fronteras, no vamos a poner a gente en cárceles aire abierto ni en cárceles cerradas. Eso no es una respuesta humanitaria y aceptable que vamos a tolerar.
Gracias.
Gracias. Sí, ahí, gracias.
Yo me quedo aquí para queremos que todos se enteren que hoy
Panorte no toka Shayakatsi, ni walewa Meshko no mashtia anawakan Mecca. Hello, my name is Shayakatsi. I come from Mexico and I go to the school Anahuacan Mecca. Likan Chante Tuangua. Anahuacan Mecca Earth Guardians stand with our brothers and sisters around the world as indigenous youth, living in a world center of climate ecocide, to call upon our city leaders and the world decision makers to do the right thing and protect our future. Any economy that places profit before children and produces a world that no one can live in must come to an end immediately. As indigenous youth, we have heard our elders and learned from our ancestors that as earth guardians and water protectors, we must always stand for the truth with our people. our animal and natural relatives, and our life givers. Today we call the world governments to defend our future. We cannot live in a world where we cannot breathe, drink, plant, or survive. Ancient teachings around the world teach about times of catastrophes in the past, but our indigenous ancestors left us instructions about how to renew the world and regenerate life on Earth. We call upon all the world governments to meet with indigenous elders, leaders, and authorities to listen to these original instructions and change the course of humanity away from self-destruction and towards a world renewal. Indigenous peoples, we are seeds. Let us grow. Let us grow. Keep it in the ground. Water is life. Fire is balance. Wind is a blessing. Earth is mother. We do not sell water, wind, fire, and earth. The only green economy is that which grows and which dies. Indigenous youth for climate justice and self-determination. Keep it in the ground. 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 Keep it in the ground.
It is amazing to see so many youth out of school and out of businesses, out of work. It's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so our next speaker is an actress and an activist. She's the recipient of many accolades, but is dedicating her life to environmental justice, environmental activism, and causes for our climate. I would like to introduce you to Jane Fonda.
Thanks, Maddie. We are living at the last possible moment in human history when we can do something about climate change. Young people know this. It's their future we're talking about. That's why students all over the world have gone on school strikes for the climate. I'm so grateful to Greta Thunberg and to the Sunrise Movement. These young people are the true adults in the room. But we cannot let our youth bear the burden for what the extractor class, the billionaires, and the politicians they've bought off have done to us. We must stand with youth. We must follow their lead. My generation won't live to see the results of our inaction. We were lied to. We were hoodwinked by the fossil fuel industry into believing that the earth was ours to endlessly exploit. No consequence. But ExxonMobil knew, and Shell knew, and BP knew. They knew, and they lied. Shame on them. And shame on the politicians they bought off. But we know the truth, and we are now experiencing the results of those deadly corporate lies. And because so much warming has already been baked in, we know it will get worse, even if we started doing everything right today. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says the only chance we have of staving off catastrophe is by keeping the temperature level rise below 2.0 Celsius. But we'll save a lot more if it's 1.5. This means cutting global emissions
And meat consumption. Yes. consumption.
You be quiet. Let me just say something. Let me say something. It's very important for us to stop eating meat and get rid of plastics and drive electric cars. That's great, but it's not enough. We are not going to be able to cut our emissions in time unless we change our economic and social systems. We have to break every law in the free market playbook. And we have to do it urgently. We did it in a decade in the 1930s during the Great Depression with the New Deal.
Green New Deal!
And then, just like today, the rich people said, oh my God, socialism, oh my God, it's not realistic. But President Roosevelt did the right thing because masses of people were in the streets. There were mass movements, and he knew if he didn't do it, there'd be a revolution. That's the kind of mobilization it's going to take. Only way more. And equality has to be built in. This is going to take an all-out war on drilling, on fracking, on deregulation, and racism, and misogyny, and colonialism, and despair, all at the same time. That's what the New Deal is, the Green New Deal. Because yes, we are facing climate change, climate crisis, but we are also facing an empathy crisis. It isn't only Earth's support system that's unraveling. Our social fabric is also unraveling. And since we have to take everything apart, let's put it back together the right way so it's a win-win for everybody.